He's learning under Eli. Eli's a guy who's going to handle that situation fine.
Can I interrupt for 1 second?
He doesn't need to get thrown into the starter role and be named the starter of this team so they can move forward.
I think that was the mistake.
He could learn how to play the position and know that this year it's not your team this year. We're slowly incorporating you and seeing how you are.
Yeah,
it's like a trial run.
Because I agree that Eli shouldn't start every
And
game.
week 3, it's way too soon.
But how are you?
That's my other
It's
thing.
early.
It's extremely early.
Announce, this guy's the new starter.
Yeah.
How are you going to do? Like,
You're acting like this is a big surprise. Eli knew this months ago, and you know that chick.
Eli knew what? He knew that eventually this year he was probably going to become not week 3.
It's early.
Not when he's playing decent.
It's early. I'll give you that.
No, it did not give me that. It's way too early.
But they're 0-2,
It's very early.
and it's time.
Did you expect them to?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Adult Baby Show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 76. I am B.
And I'm Chick.
And I'm Chris.
Hey, guys. How about that? What a week.
What a week.
We're back.
Week.
Woo! Danny Dimes.
It is the week of Danny Dimes.
It is.
It is.
And I was wrong.
You're eating your words.
And I'm glad to eat these words.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to blow. I thought he was going to suck. I was thoroughly impressed and happy that I might be wrong. Obviously, you don't know yet. It was one game. But I'm very happy what the Giants have at the quarterback position following my buddy Eli. And I was wrong, everybody.
All right.
I was wrong.
This is your redemption song? Your
My redemption song, yep. I was. I said I'd be happy to eat my words, and I said I hope I was wrong, and I was wrong. I'm not usually wrong, but I was.
Yeah, so you're watching that, and right away you're already. How fast did it take you to join the Danny Dimes train?
Probably by the second to third quarter when he was really like, I mean, he was getting the ball out quick, accurate, and decisively. Mm-hmm. And that's when I was like, all right, he don't hold the ball. He's got a little bit of a fumbling problem, so he got that one fumble where no one touched him, where I was like, uh-oh, here we go.
Well, he's a rookie. He's going to have that.
But these receivers were making catches that they didn't for Eli. But whatever. I get it. The team is hyped. You got a new guy. It's like new blood. So, maybe the team had to do it. And as much as I wanted them to lose because I want a big pick this year, I was happy he got his first
They'll
win.
still probably lose some games.
Yeah,
the
they're not. The defense
atrocious.
is still like fucking Swiss cheese.
By the way, speaking of...
They were playing Tampa Bay. So
yeah.
No,
and
exactly.
they also only won because that kicker missed
the shanked the chip shot field goal.
Speaking of catching, did you guys happen to catch that story in the news about the guy in... I think it must have been Philadelphia, but there was a fire in an apartment building, and this was yesterday, Sunday, and this guy goes... he's walking by, and there's a guy outside, and there's kids. The building's on fire. So he goes, he's talking about setting a ladder up, and then a guy threw the kid. He goes, they started throwing the kids over, and he caught them.
Like out of the window?
Out of the window.
Jesus
He's like, I was
Christ.
catching kids, unlike Aguilar. He was a receiver
He
for the
did
Eagles.
drop that one ball, but that's his catching kids unlike Aguilar.
Yeah, so you got it. It's a funny little news.
That is great, but
Unlike
you know what?
Aguilar.
I was so happy watching that game, and
I
it just
was really
gave me
hyped
some
with that.
excitement going forward. And now I already think that we have more of a future than the Jets. He already proved in one game
Don't
that
bring
he's
it
better
in
than
one
Sammy
game.
Darnold.
Listen,
He looked better in that one game than Darnold's looked so far in any of his
you
games.
are insane
Now, have
because
the
you don't.
Jets ever played
No.
worse than they did this weekend?
No.
No,
Give me a second.
They haven't.
What?
What?
First of all, Darnold has played plenty of good games. His first game,
Not like that.
his first game.
Not like
Do
that.
you remember
what
his
was
first
his
game?
QB rating?
I don't know the numbers, chick.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Sam Darnold started off with a pick six, came back,
He
and
didn't
then
throw a pick that game, so it's already better.
but he came back and led them to victory. It was an incredible game.
Did he have a 2-minute drive at the end to win the game?
I believe he did have a 2-minute drive, to be honest. But
That was like, and
Don't-
everybody says he looks like Eli. He reminds me a lot of Eli because he's calm. He doesn't show much emotion.
he has
And-
legs. What are you talking
But-
about?
No.
gonna say the
I just
scrambling
mean of his
is-
demeanor. And like
Yeah, he looks
2-minute
boring.
offense at
White.
the end of the game, I'm like, wow, he looks just like Eli.
Super
Wow.
white.
Well, I'm glad we can all agree that it was time to take that old dog out to the shed and shoot it.
You know what also bothered me though? Let's get
All right.
into it.
It's over.
No,
No,
I would like to see Eli
was,
come out and play one more game.
I'd like to see him play one more game too.
For what, though?
Just
towards
to,
the end
a
of the
goodbye,
season or
like a
something
last
like
home
that.
game
Yeah.
of the year. He deserves to
And
play.
they make
No.
it like a thing.
Yeah,
It'd be
no,
nice
it's
if
just-
they
Okay,
make
you
it.
guys are living in a fantasy world.
But-
That doesn't happen. So.
If it's okay, so you're telling me Danny Dimes plays 13 games, looks great. You know you got to, you've seen enough of him where you know you got your guy, and it's the last home game of the year. You're nowhere near the playoffs. Let's let Eli
gonna lose
play it.
anyways.
Let him get his last
Sure. If that's
hurrah.
what you think that
I
professional
would still
football
like to
team
see
works,
his last hurrah.
Okay. You saw his last hurrah.
Class
He was
act,
great.
though.
He was
Class
great.
But they're not, because he'll be under 500 if he loses.
They're not going to do it, and he's not going to want to do that. It's already done. It's Daniel Jones' team. It was the second they drafted him, and
But I'm on the
That's how
Daniel
football
Jones
works.
wagon right
Good.
now, and I'm ready. I'm excited to see him play every week.
What an exciting game too.
It was
It was
exciting.
Great
nice to
game.
watch a game that was close.
Yeah, and he made some plays that Eli
Yeah.
can't make right now.
No, absolutely.
But you know what I don't like is how a lot of people, even in like group chats and just from hearing, rummages online and stuff. Why does it have to be, Daniel Jones is good and he's doing this, that Eli couldn't do that? Why can't it just be Daniel Jones did a great job, looked great? Why does it have to be at
I
Eli's
love how,
expense?
your tune it just switches. So
It doesn't switch, but why does it have to
yesterday
be at...
last week it was all about why do we have to start this guy? It makes no sense. This week it's like why does it have to be?
I just don't get why it has to be at Eli's
You're just
expense. I still
an
love
idiot.
Eli. I didn't forget about
there was
Eli.
a good amount of Eli love though, even at
Of
the
course.
game. Yeah.
There will be for the
Guy
rest
takes
of the
it,
season.
takes everything like a champ. You know what I was wondering about yesterday?
Oh, I can't imagine.
Is how hard it must have been for Eli at the end of this. Probably the first game he's played as a Giant, where the game was over and nobody wanted to talk to him
Yeah,
at his
well,
locker. I'm saying, you
I'm
don't
sure
think that's
people-
got to be weird?
I'm sure people want to talk.
There was
gonna say-
everybody was probably by DJ's fucking locker.
You don't think anyone wanted that exit interview?
I'm sure. Listen,
Maybe, but not like they wanted Daniel Jones. I'm just saying that's got to be tough for someone 15
it's tough
years.
for any athlete to.
When you were the limelight guy in New York for that long and now you're not, that's got to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's not like.
But Eli probably helped him
And
the
your
whole
face is a
game.
meme.
Eli was talking to him. Eli's the fucking man. I still
Class
love him.
act.
Eli
man.
is great.
My whole point is,
But I just-
we can love Daniel Jones, but we don't have to love him at Eli's expense.
We don't have to love. But all right, I'm done arguing with.
Why
this
does it
just 'cause
have to
it's
be
so
at
silly.
Eli's expense?
It's not at his expense.
But
Nobody.
I'm telling you, there
you
was
take
jokes.
Everything.
Sports
too personal.
Sports Center said Eli never came back from an 0-18.
He didn't.
Okay,
But
that's fine, but why does it? Who cares? He was one of the best comeback players as far as bringing his team back.
Because-
maybe it was never 18 points, but
Right,
there was
maybe
14,
not one game, but it was like a
16,
comeback
and he
at-
did it all the
As
time.
a season.
You have been a sports fan for a long time, and you know that this is how it works.
Yeah, and I don't
This
think
is
it's
what
anything
they
wrong
do.
with seeing him play one more time.
They did this when Eli came out. I'm sure there was stats that Eli did that Kurt Warner didn't do.
No. Kurt Warner was a Giant for 1 year.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Phil Simms. Who knows? Whatever. It doesn't matter.
But
They-
whatever, bro.
Whatever, bro.
I'm very happy about
good.
Danny
Listen,
Dimes.
we're just glad you're happy.
And I admitted I was wrong. I still could be
Very
right.
big of you.
I still could be right,
Can you
but
believe how
I'm
big
probably
it-
wrong after that
he's-
game because he looked a lot better than I anticipated.
I just love how you take this as like Eli was taken and thrown to the tracks. Like this is like it's not like he won the Super Bowl last year and has been it's kind of
Okay,
been
he
on
won
a
two
steady
of 'em.
decline. Like Eli.
There's
knew
a
it was
great
coming.
article I posted after this happened
Yes.
about how the Giants fucked that up and not Eli.
Okay, well
Hey,
that's it.
I'm happy about it.
I'm glad you're
and
happy,
I just
and
not,
we're just going
I
around in
still love
circles.
Eli.
Of course you do.
Everything goes around in circles with you.
With you mean?
No, with you.
No, sir. With you.
You guys sound like a couple. Everything's in circles with you.
Oh God. So this we're episode what? 75?
75.
76? I think.
76.
Yeah,
We're
76.
Last week was 75. man.
Okay, so I was going back in the history books, and it was actually we're coming up on an anniversary. It was episode 29 on the 29th of September of last year,
Couldn't plan that better.
where the adult babies invited our very own Chris Maraboli to join the
Alright.
podcast. Do you remember that?
I do.
So this was a year from
How
our
could I
first
forget that?
episode with Chris and not Taylor, or this is when we had him as a guest.
This is when we had him as a
That was a
guest.
guest.
Oh, so this is the
This
year
is-
anniversary of Taylor quitting.
Yes.
Okay,
Could not forget that one.
Yeah.
that was awkward.
That was, yeah.
We came a long way.
We did, and so I went back to that episode. I couldn't listen to it. I didn't listen to it, but I was gonna listen. I never got a chance to listen to it. But
that was an awkward episode.
it was so awkward. That's why I was like, I don't even want to listen. I feel like, but
because the episode that we released was right before he quit, and he was just in a weird mood that whole day.
Yeah, I wish you guys had released the one where he quit.
We should get it from Taylor because Taylor
If he
has
still
it,
has it,
and we should just release it as like just let people
Like a
listen to
bonus.
the episode where T Briz quits.
that would be. We should get that.
We have to get it.
No, listen. People have asked about that, and
And I think I think now it's come where it's
been a year.
It's fun. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
There's no hard feelings with
been back on
anything.
the show.
He's been
Yes.
back on the show, and yeah, I think we try and get that episode out there for
yeah,
everybody.
we'll try to dig that one up. Maybe if we have like a week where we can't get to it, or
Like
we'll
a
throw a
filler
bonus,
week, yeah.
whatever. But do you realize it actually took an extra whole month
Before we started.
It was September 29th where we stopped, and it was October 29th when we restarted as the three of us.
Was it really exactly a month?
It was. It was.
Well, there was a few things we had to get situated and realize what we could do and if we were going to still move on. I mean, me and B wanted to. We just didn't know. B's still affected by Taylor leaving.
I'm not affected.
But Chris laughs because he knows it's true.
I'm affected by you.
Does that hat say you have the C on it for Chris?
No, it's Cleveland Indians.
I just thought you got it.
he's
I
all
just
about-
thought he got it because he wants to have the C. For
No,
Chris.
he's
well, in case I forget my
like
name,
a pun
I need to
intended.
have-
You know.
No, he's a Cleveland nut now. Last week he had the Cleveland.
Oh, that's
t-shirt.
right. He is a Cleveland nut.
Guy goes to Cleveland once. He's got more Cleveland
loved
gear
it.
than
It's
anybody
great.
ever.
I feel like Cleveland's a shit city too.
It is.
I mean,
Yeah, it's got one nice block.
No, it's so shit, but it's like they're the sweetest people.
That's because they got nothing else
They
to
got
be.
nothing, I don't know. It's just cool.
Ohio.
All right, whatever. Hey, to our listeners in Ohio, we
Yeah.
love you.
Right, none of them.
We got listeners everywhere. You never know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Worldwide.
I was looking back on this like on like a year ago today because I'm doing a show that I did last year, and it was that show when you came on, I believe, because I don't know if you remember. I did this time last year.
Yes, I do remember.
I did that show at the Webb Institute, and I woke up in this college boiler room with the alarm going off, and I'm going back to that place this weekend, and I can't wait for it. So that's why I was looking back. I was like, oh my God, I think that was like the same date. And I remember specifically that show. I was excited to go on and talk about it.
And we started in like Marchish.
Yeah. Well, it was because it was
It's
episode
like March, April. Well, you figure we've done 76 episodes, 52 weeks in a
Right.
year.
and we
So
took
that's
off
24.
a month. But we
That's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Yeah, it's about 6 months.
yeah. So
We've been doing this show for almost a year and a half, B.
I know.
And now this gentleman, Chris,
About
has
a
been
year.
on with a year for
Yeah.
us.
How do you feel after
love
a
it.
year? You like it?
Yeah, big fan.
Do you have any regrets?
Guys, I quit.
Did you think we'd still be doing this?
Uh,
Honestly, did you think it would last this long?
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
gotta be honest. When I first joined the show, I didn't think I would last too long on it
Yeah.
because the vibe was weird for the first few episodes.
It was well.
Well, you know what? When we started with you, it was like restarting a new podcast.
It was like restarting a new podcast. Yeah,
And it took us a little bit to get going, and I think we're still improving.
we're
and-
improving everything.
And I enjoy listening to our episode. Yeah, I really do. And but yeah, I think we've come a long way.
We have,
yeah.
and we've had some really fun episodes.
We have.
Like,
I
we
think our
have.
best episodes have been some of these more like some of the ones we've done with you. We had a couple gems earlier, but it's just like I'm surprised we've been around this long. I didn't know how long we.
This is the
last.
longest job you've ever had.
Well, you know what, B?
What?
We will touch on it.
What-
I
you
lost
sure?
my job again
Oh man,
he wasn't
on
gonna
Friday.
Say it.
I know.
He wasn't
no,
gonna say it.
Whatever.
We let him down the hole. I think we
I
let.
can't.
All right.
I can't lie to my fans and my listeners.
By the way, his fans are not anybody you've ever worked for.
But no,
so,
it wasn't
I-
this one wasn't a bad one, and it wasn't like oh my
It was
God.
a good firing. You know.
It was as good a firing as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
But no, it just wasn't working out. That's all I'll say about that. I won't get too much into it. The biggest
That's all you're
problem,
gonna leave us with?
No, I'm
you
talk-
should have. You should
I'm
have
talking
said
about
that.
the actual firing part.
Oh, like the job.
Yeah, the job itself. It just wasn't working out.
It wasn't working out.
Like
That's fine.
I had
You didn't
hoped.
like it.
I didn't love it. You know, it wasn't great. So that's all I'll say. I was already looking for other jobs before that ended. So
by the way, I believe in the last episode you did say you were having a bad week because Eli got benched and work isn't going so great.
yes, and work wasn't good. And I could promise that happened before like I found out. I didn't know I was getting let go when I made that.
Right,
comment.
but you
probably had a sense.
the writing was on the wall, and
Yeah.
I've been looking for. It just wasn't working out there. I wasn't making money. I wasn't great there. It wasn't working out.
Well, you'll find
But
something.
the hardest part was not for me because I know things. There's good things for me. I got some things I'm working on that could be good in the future. So I'm really not worried about it at all. I'm kind of relieved and a little happy, but it is
Well,
what
you
it
get
is.
to
We'll
sleep
see what
in now,
happens. Fuck you. But the hardest thing was the disappointment on my roommates.
Oh God, yeah.
Telling them it's just like
Yeah,
because
it
it's
sounded
like every
rough,
year
man.
right lately. It's just been like
it's like Christmas. It's like Santa Claus comes once a year and my son
loses
gets
his
fired
job.
once a year.
the
Both
10th
are
right
unfair-
before
Christmas.
The
both are
20th
very
job since
unbelievable.
high school is the charm.
Oh man, see when you told me, that's the first thing that I thought about too. Is like
Because you know where what the things like we know where you're at my level.
Well, please don't bring me down. Okay, I maintain a job. But
I've maintained plenty. Let's not get it twisted.
well, you've also lost plenty.
Well, you know what? I haven't found my niche yet, and what I've really wanted to do.
He calls it his niche.
I haven't. No,
That's
I
a
mean,
hell of a way of looking
in
at it.
my defense,
You spin a
when I
story,
worked.
sir.
No, it's no spinning any story. This is me. You know what?
That
I'll
might
be
your
honest.
niche.
I worked at
This
one
is his
place where I
niche.
worked from sure when I started off as a driver. I was a manager. Within a few years, I was there for 5 years. I worked at the complex for years. I worked at my gambling place for years. The last few, it just hasn't been the right fit. It hasn't been what I've been looking to do. There's been numerous issues and reasons to why these last few have not worked out.
Right.
So yeah, and
I don't wanna get
obviously
into the
nobody
job.
could sit here and be like, obviously it doesn't look great, but that's really not the case. But
So what is it like when you find that you get the news?
one of the things I'm working on, I think, really might be it. But I got to see if I get
Right.
it.
And that's the sleep apnea mask.
What?
You're the
Working
you're
on-
the new spokesperson for the sleep apnea.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I'm sorry.
But I can't. I'm not
no,
talking
no.
about anything.
No, we're not going to talk about that. As far I just want to ask you, when you get the news, is there a little relief in you? As oh, good, I don't have to be here next week.
No, not at all.
Is
Really?
there?
Because I would have liked this transition to be from one to another with
course,
with no,
yeah.
Right, with no lapse
with
or
no
anything like
lapse.
And you were
To be quite honest, I already have I'll be making. I'm not going to be losing much in my weekly income right now
Why is that?
because I have some things where I'll be able to make just as much as I was. I'm just losing the insurance right now. It sucks.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not saying this is a good thing at all. Just there's unemployment. There's
you
other
got
things.
you have other income.
okay.
side jobs and things I can do
Right.
to
You
to
paint
make-
houses on the weekends.
No,
right?
I might be
Yeah.
doing deliveries for a friend of mine, and just I don't have to get
Of
into
what?
the grave details of it.
Please don't.
No, that's a completely. It's just no. I'm not talking about doing I'm not doing drugs.
By the way, I
deliveries.
have a job for you this week if you want. If you're free Friday night,
Well, then that's the other thing. Side gigs come in,
Side
so
hustle.
Yeah.
I'll be okay. Chick
gotta
will be
have that
fine.
side hustle.
Chick's not really upset about this.
a chick likes to talk in the third person.
Yep, and
Chick and
I'll be
fight a
fine.
lot.
In a few weeks, I think we'll be talking about how I got really good things going for me.
I hope so.
I think so, Chick.
Can we?
I'm halfway through the process of getting something, so we'll see if it works.
Now the other thing is when.
But
you,
like I said, it was the hardest thing. My dad
hardest
maybe
thing is
said
talking to your
one
parents.
sentence to my dad, my father about it, and
Yeah,
he was
so
like, "It
what
is
is-
what it is."
how did you tell them, or how did
I'm
that go?
very upfront. I don't lie. It is what it is.
Yeah, I got to be honest though, 'cause I think you look so much better this time. Because I remember when you got fired from. a
Well, the
different
last
place.
one was out of nowhere, and I liked that place, and
Yeah.
I wasn't making what I want, but I thought there could be. It was more unexpected. I knew this was coming. The writing's been on the wall, and I've been looking for something else. So
You're in
I'm
better
not really
spirits, though.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
fine
you're in better
because I'm
spirits.
fine. I know everything's gonna be fine.
Everything is going to be fine.
I pick myself back up quite often, so I'm not really worried about this. I'm really not.
Your dad's not talking to you.
Well, it's not that he's not talking to me. It's just
He's just ignoring you.
he's just not really happy.
Oh,
It's just for them. It's just frustrating.
yeah.
I can't imagine why.
So no, it is. My mother handles it a lot differently.
So do you tell your mother first? Obviously.
Oh yeah.
The blow's easier, yeah.
It's just easy to talk.
Do you tell her right away, or do you wait a couple days?
No, I tell everybody. I tell them right away.
Oh, okay. Even your dad?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to, but it is what it is.
Okay. Ugh, jeez. Well,
I mean, this situation, we had some things that we were doing over the whatever, so I didn't tell him. I told my mother first.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So
but it's not like it's not that I never want to tell him, but I'm not a liar, bro.
Of course you're not.
It is.
But it's got to be. I'd be nervous, like going up and be like, "Listen, it's back."
You know how? Yeah. Listen, you know how things were going so well for me.
But were they?
Well, I don't. 2 episodes ago, you said things were great.
Yeah, I mean, you were.
Yes, and that's because I had good news, and that's not done yet.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so
You're
we're
right.
different. All right.
It had nothing to do with my job.
We never know where you stand. Sometimes
tough.
you're here. Sometimes
Well, I'm
you're there.
bipolar almost.
Yeah,
I'm really not bipolar, but I'm.
That sentence was the most bipolar sentence.
Well, because you know what it is.
almost.
Well, because I'm not really,
really not
bipolar and like diagnosed, but moods change. Like I get high and low, and you
Right.
know.
You go from Eli
You're
Manning
mostly
to
high.
Daniel Jones.
But no, I'm just trying to have a much better outlook on things in general. and,
I'm glad, man.
and I'm really not
that's good.
trying to be all mopey dopey about it.
Good, and you shouldn't. And we're not trying to bring that out.
No, it's
You and
fine.
I,
I'm good.
honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
I just want to know, because I can't. It
listen,
just
there's gonna be a
sucks.
lot of people like, oh, chick again, and they
I
have
know,
their
I know.
comments, and everybody thinks they know why and have all the answers, but they
Well-
can all go fuck themselves, and I'll be fine.
There's that positive.
I'm not really.
attitude.
No, it is a positive attitude. 'Cause I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I'm the only one who knows the truth,
Yep.
and that's all that matters.
No, that's
Exactly.
true. Well,
I'm with that.
we have your back, buddy,
And I'm an honest guy, so if any, I don't butter anything up. I don't like. There's a lot of people come on trying to make themselves out to be like those Facebook people and Instagram people whose lives suck, but
You
everything
really
they
hate
portray.
Facebook people, man.
But he loves Facebook
loves
too.
No, I love to
And-
go on
and he
it.
was late in the Facebook game. Did you know that?
I was late in the
No.
game
Yeah.
because I was very anti all
but
that
he-
stuff.
Really?
And
but
then
he-
because I embraced it and I do love it.
He jumped on that train and started.
But just
driving.
because I go on it and I enjoy it, like if you notice, I don't really post too much anymore. I really don't. I still
I
post
got
things
off
here and
Facebook
there.
completely.
Yeah.
I can't do
But
it.
I don't post a ton anymore, and I like seeing the people. I just like
You like to stir the pot.
I just like to see what's going
You
on.
like to stir
But
the
there's a
pot.
lot of people who portray and these happy dory situations that aren't
It's not what's really happening.
it's not what's
Yeah.
really happening. You'll never get that from me. I'll post things that I'm doing because that's what I'm doing and I'm having fun with it. But you listen to my show and you'll find out everything you need to know about how I'm doing.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we have your back, buddy, and
I appreciate
I
it.
feel bad for you, but I know.
Don't feel bad. No, this was a good thing.
I
It
just
really
feel
is a
feel
good
bad
thing.
for the situation, but I do think it will be a good thing. I think,
yeah.
Could- yeah.
I'm telling you, this time is like we're good. I'm good.
yeah.
And I don't even have anything bad to say about the place
Of
I
course,
left.
I'm sure they probably. If I know you, they don't have much bad stuff to say about you either.
Yeah,
much,
they like me.
much.
Well, you know what it
Some,
is, bro?
but-
Everybody has their flaws, but generally speaking, people like me, and and you know what? My boy Rob, who I worked with
Yeah.
the whole, first thing he says because I told him what happened. He's like, he's like, well, just so you know, this doesn't change anything with the. I'm like, see, there you go,
Right.
man. That's what it
It
is.
doesn't
podcast
change
that doesn't
anything.
exist.
Good relationship
It doesn't
builder.
change anything with
I'm a great
with the other
relationship builder, and I
podcast. We're
maintain
still
my
not gonna
relationships.
Yeah, what is happening with that?
This
You
is
hear
happening. It's
anywhere?
going to be soon. I told you, it wasn't going to start up. They don't start up. They took the whole summer off, and they were starting back up in
It's
September.
officially fall today.
That's a great way to retain your fans. Is take a whole summer
They've been
off.
doing much better than we,
yeah.
so I don't think they have to worry about the fans listening after
No,
they're
they
off.
don't.
It's really only think about it 2 months.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not and they have the fan base, and once they repost them, they're back. People take breaks, man,
They
and
do. People
I'm
take
excited.
breaks,
I'm
people
still
get
excited to go on, and things will happen. And there's always things are always changing
Listen,
in my
your
life.
life is a roller coaster of
Exactly.
things, of events and ups and downs, and
It's
we're
beautiful.
all here to enjoy the ride.
Yes, exactly. I'm here
watching
for
what happens with
entertainment.
Oh,
The
man.
fucking
So what are you doing with your time now? You just hanging
this
out?
is day
a lot
one.
Of movies,
Probably
right?
the same thing. He was
no,
doing.
I can't.
By the way,
I'm
all
out
right.
and about. I'm out on the grind now.
Because I want to be. We're recording on a Monday, and I have off Monday, and obviously Chick has off.
Yeah, what happened?
So we started off the day with like I'm free all day, and
then I was like, I was free all day because I had nothing planned, but I was on the grind. I was out and about doing things.
you were on the grind because
Yeah.
you pushed
Grind,
it back
alright.
a few times.
Yeah, because I was running late. I'm not going to just sit home and do nothing all day because I got to be out there trying to
You're hustling.
having positive days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you went out and had a positive day?
Yeah, I told you I'm out there hitting the pavement. I'm trying to, just in case the
I would
thing.
love to know what that means.
so vague.
Because there's not grave
I'm hitting the
details that
pavement.
everybody needs to know. Like, I don't need to come on here and give my minute-by-minute update on what my day entails.
By the way, 10 minutes ago, he was like, you want to know what's going on with Chick? You listen to the show. And now he's
Yeah,
like,
and I'll
"Hey."
give you an insight to what's going on. I don't know I need to give a minute-by-minute update.
Yo. Oh, with your life, we wanted a minute-to-minute
Oh,
update.
no, well, that's not going to
Hitting
happen.
the pavement.
Yeah.
means-
I'm just out there
We know you're not
hustling,
going
looking
for a jog.
Yeah, no, I'm looking for. You know what? I'm just trying not to be a lazy bum, unemployed, doing nothing. I'm trying
That's
to
good.
trying to get back
Nice.
on my feet as quickly as possible.
All right. Well, we
And even though I have one thing hopefully lined up, I still have
No,
to
you gotta-
grind because
yeah.
you never know what's going to work out and what's not. Things
that's
change.
true.
So
That's true.
I'm trying to get as many opportunities. as
Hey,
I can.
I'm going to talk to my people, too,
yeah, exactly. I may deliver meat. Who
move.
knows?
Hey, you don't mention my job on the...
Oh, I thought I
on
didn't
the
realize.
show?
I'm sorry. That's why I should know better because that's why I don't
Yeah.
like and that's
go-
the other thing is when you're going into this and I'm trying to get hired and do things. I can't just talk about blatantly like
I get that.
It's
I don't know many... Maybe they are listening. Yeah, who knows?
well, even if
Doubt
that, it's not probably not, but it's just better safe than sorry.
That's true.
It's enough we say probably on here. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not what's gonna get you.
yeah, well, but you don't need to talk about what's the actual, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, so what else you guys got going on? You know what? While I'm still going, let me talk about one good thing.
Yeah, let's hear the
All
good
right, cool.
stuff.
I got my uncle surprise visited the family this week. He's lives in Georgia. He moved out of New York in '81, and I got family all over not all over the country, but they're all spread out in Georgia and Texas. And I haven't seen them in years. It's been a long time since I've seen my uncle, and thank God for Facebook. We could keep in touch with my cousins and stuff through that. But my uncle's been like out and about these last year or so, just trying to get see things and see us. We haven't seen him in a while, so he surprise visited us. So there's been he's been having a bucket list of things he wants to do in New York because he's the first time he's been back to be like a tourist in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to go to the San Gennaro Feast and to visit the 9/11 Memorial. So the 9/11 Memorial was fun.
Never forget.
It is what it is. Never forget. And
Drink.
it's always somber there, but they did a beautiful job. But there's really not much to get into other than I always suggest everybody go sees it. But we went to the San Gennaro Feast, and
I always get confused. Is it fest or feast?
I think it's feast.
it's feast,
Yeah.
San Gennaro Feast.
But it's also a fest,
It
you
is
know?
a fest.
It's like a festival.
Yeah.
Isn't a feast basically short for festival, or am I wrong?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, the reason why it's a feast
I
is
don't
because
think
it's all
you're wrong.
food. It's all food.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why.
You know what I
I
mean?
don't think it's feastival though.
But there was a couple like kid rides and stuff you could it was kind of like a festival. They had
Right.
games and stuff that
They
you could
did.
play
it had like carny games.
Yeah, they have some
Yeah.
carny games there and shops where you could buy clothes and all the Italian stuff. But I've never been there, and I've lived in
Oh,
New York
really?
for a long time, my whole life. I've never lived outside of New York.
I've actually been there, and I'm.
I
as,
honestly,
I
well,
went
you know
for the
what?
first
And I
time
even
this
asked
year,
my
too.
parents because I was like, "Did you guys take me here when I was younger?" Because I don't ever remember going. I remember seeing it, but never really walking through it. And I also learned a lot about, not like a ton about my family, but my great grandparents. They used to peddler. They used to be like peddlers, and they used to have like a little vegetable cart or something like that they used to push on Mott Street. Right
maybe
over
you
there.
can get a job as a peddler.
Oh, shit, that's the one.
Go
so
to
they
Mott
used to
Street
do that,
and sell
and then on
vegetables.
Hester, right over there, was where my great grandparents lived, where my grandfather grew up.
Nice.
So we got to see that house, like their brick building. They were on like the 4th floor, so I got to see a lot of that and hear all the stories. Because my uncle's older than my mother, so he remembered a lot.
So this
more.
is your mother's.
my
brother?
mother's brother. So,
Okay.
and it was great to see him. I mean, he's still here, and they're putting like all our film, our pictures and stuff, like digitalizing them. So
Nice.
now everything's going to be easier.
That's awesome.
For us to check the family, old school family videos, and
This
it's
is the
actually
year
really
chick got
cool.
fired from this job. This is the year chick got fired from that job.
It's all right. Keep them coming. But no, but we're talking about my
This is
mother
the
when
year
she
he
was
was
a
hired
kid
and
and my
fired the same day.
grandparents. All right. So I had a great time. I had some sausage and peppers. I got a nice little hoodie.
What
we had
color
some
hoodie did you
Zeppelis. I got a San Gennaro
Aren't
feast.
Zeppelin's the best though?
So good.
That's great.
There was so much good
I
food
love a
there,
sausage
bro.
and pepper
Like,
hero.
I love
dude.
a sausage. And
I
pepper
will,
hero,
and
but
I
it's
said it.
Zeppeli. Oh.
After I left there, I'm going to go back every year. I got to go at least, one day there.
Right.
We spent a lot of time. We went to go see a church where I think he got baptized. Like we were all, because that whole area is where a lot of his youth he remembers.
Yeah.
So it was like really cool for me to see, taking pictures of them.
where
and,
where your family all came from.
yeah, and like in thinking of it, I really want to find out a lot more about when they came over and more of the family history. So I think that's going to be one thing that I want to do in the near future.
You know what's you reminded me of something with like seeing your family's history. My mom always talks about this. Like early when my parents first got married or when they were dating early on, my grandfather took them to Brooklyn like a random day. My grandfather was very just big Irish guy, grew up in Brooklyn with like 18.
You know what's funny?
kids.
Each like ethnicity in New York will have the same stories.
It's the same thing.
It's just with the Irish people did it, or because they were all so sectionalized.
Yeah, that's what it was. So
same story, different neighborhood, but
exactly.
It's basically the same story, a little different.
So my grandfather, just this random day, was like, "I want to take you to my old neighborhood," and he took my mom and my dad out, and he was showing them buildings. He's like, right around here, there's a building where like a horse used to deliver. A horse used to come with a carriage.
Yeah.
And drop coal into there. And sure enough, they pulled up, and there was like
you could see where it's because a lot of the stuff is still there, but or some of the companies and businesses have moved and changed.
But a lot. This is also going back 20 years, but you still see those buildings.
Well, there's a place, Vincent's, there that my grandfather used to. They said like whenever he had a little extra money in his pocket, he would go and get sauce. He knew the guy who worked there, and he would buy like a thing of sauce from Vincent's, which is like a nice Italian restaurant over there. And he'd come home with the sauce. But like, it's just cool. Yeah, like you said, it's just awesome to see old buildings where things that your family grew up, but they may be a little different. But like you said, a lot is still similar.
You're also lucky. The reason why I brought it up is like my parents. This is probably 30-something years ago that they did this. They went and it was a random day, and now they don't
remember.
They never took notes, like they weren't thinking.
Plus, they also didn't grow up there, so it's not instilled in their brain as much.
Right, so they don't know where. But like he went and showed them everything in Brooklyn, where everything was, where he grew up, and then now he died years ago. So
so now you almost lose that. They'll never find out. You almost.
So it's nice that
there's a way to find archives. My uncle had archives. He's the one who found the address. Where they lived, and like through archives and stuff, and then you go there. My mother's like, "Oh, I remember going up 4 flights of stairs," and you look up, and there's only 4 flights there. Like, it's just like it's still there. But it was really cool because my uncle, like I said, was older than my mother, so my mother doesn't remember certain of those stories. Like he had to tell them almost about it. Like they had not vivid memories, but like you remember certain little things, kind of. But he knew, like, they used to go up Mott Street, and this was on Hester, and this is where the church, and he knew where all this shit was. There was one sign that was like a Chinese store now, because you're, like, right on the border of, like, Little Italy and Chinatown.
Like 1 block's difference. It's
crazy.
Yeah.
But, like, there was one thing that was like, he's like, you see that green Chinese sign? He's like, that used to be whatever it was. And then we're going to buy clothes, like where I got my sweatshirt. He wanted to get one, too. And he was talking to one of the ladies.
Did it have the flag on it?
Yeah, I'll show you it when it's upstairs.
Gotta get the flag.
I'll get it when we take the picture. I'll put the hoodie on and so we can have it on there. But we got to talking to one of the ladies who work in one of the booths there, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here. I haven't been back in so long." He's like, "My father used to work at the James Center or the Jameson Center, whatever it was called." And she's like, "Oh, I used to go there as kids." And then you talk to them. It's like, I don't know. I love stuff like that. I'm like a sentimental.
Cool.
Like I love the family.
It's great.
History.
Yeah,
and
hearing
cool
those
to hear
stories
when like 2 people grew up in the same area but didn't know each other, but they like reminisce about.
Yep.
And totally almost different times, but they kind of overlap.
Exactly.
But like I had so much fun.
I love those.
We did a ton of walking though,
great.
and it was hot. But I want to go back there.
Yeah. When'd you go?
I went this past Saturday.
Okay.
I want to go back
Thursday,
though,
and it was like chilly.
I bet you it's so much better if it's a little chilly. I mean, it gets packed like sardines too, bro.
That's why I stopped going. I was like,
well, that's what the thing is. A lot of people, it's like, I want to go there just to get the food. I like now. Once you see it, you don't really need to go like, oh, I want to see everything.
I don't know.
You want to just do a quick walkthrough. Dude, the food is good.
Worth it for the set, please.
Food is so good.
And you could eat in places there where you don't have to walk around. You could kind of sit there.
Every
and
restaurant
enjoy it.
had like an outdoor.
Those little outdoor cafes and stuff that you can.
I saw these little meatballs that when they cut open, they had spaghetti in them. Oh my god,
Jesus. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like spaghetti filled meatballs.
That seems
It looked
crazy.
delicious.
That's excessive.
Yeah.
Because like
That
people
seems
are walking around with all these
backwards,
little
actually,
things. They had baked clams. They had, dude. Oh my god, I don't even like baked clams or whatever.
Spaghetti in meatballs.
In meatballs. The pizza was great. I mean,
What
the
an
sauces and
idea.
peppers. But you almost want to figure out like what sauces and pepper stand do I go to?
Right.
You want to
That's
make
another
sure you
thing.
nail it.
Are they all equal? I don't
No,
know.
because I
They
had
can't be.
So when we were going for the Zeppelis, we saw there was 2 Zeppeli stands, literally, and like maybe 2 little booths in between them, separating them. And one of the girls from who was in another stand, we just happened to be like, oh, there's Zeppelis here, and there's fried Oreos and Zeppelis here, and she's like, this lady's the one to go to. So we
Okay.
went there, and they had these potatoes that they slice like chips, full potatoes on a stick that they slice like chips in front of you, deep fry it. And then you eat, dude, they were fucking
That sounds
awesome.
delicious.
And they had the Zeppelis were ridiculous. They had fried Oreos. They had so much stuff.
There's something about that carny food that's just
Dude, and once you get in that area,
baby.
and because a lot of it's the good Italian food, bro, it smelled like, oh my god.
Oh,
You went
yeah.
there and you feel like you're going to eat like you have 2 assholes.
And you better have 2 assholes
Yeah.
because it's coming
and if you
out.
don't, you're gonna
you
make
don't-
a second.
Oh my god.
Because it's coming out.
Oh man.
But like you are.
You better
if you
hope
get
you
there on
don't
a
have to go
busy
back to
day or a
Penn
bad
Station.
time. Yeah, if you get there on like a busy day or a bad time, you're like, you can't even walk almost.
No,
you
it
almost
was-
have to walk on the sides, not through the middle of it.
We stayed for like an hour, and then it got excessive.
Well, because we were
Got
doing all this walking, seeing all these things that were like around it, we were there for like 2.5 hours, almost
Yeah.
3 hours at the feast.
Yeah.
See, that would have been too much.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Listen, my parents and
was
my aunt
nice.
and like it was a long and it was tiring.
Yeah,
but
it was nice, but then it was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
It's
but
food
there,
and-
there was a lot of
yeah.
sentimental things we wanted to see. So my uncle, I was glad he got to see all
Right,
that.
that's-
And we
that
had
sounds like
great
a
time.
nice,
Good time.
nice
Yeah,
day.
it was fun. And then we had he's still here and he's doing the pictures, but we had a nice little Sunday sauce on yesterday. And
Nice.
nice.
You
know,
guys
it's
make your own
tricky.
sauce? Like, is that
my mother.
Your
my
mother
makes
does-
her own. So yeah, my mother's phenomenal.
Yeah,
at
I
cooking.
can imagine. Yeah.
she's a beast. She's a savage in
Yeah.
the
In the kitchen?
In the kitchen.
Yep.
But so that was my whole weekend. It was good. It was terrible. Then it was good.
A lot of highs
Terrible
and
now.
lows.
A lot of highs and lows,
A lot
like
of
my
highs and
life.
lows.
That's your life.
And Danny Dimes and Notre Dame. I just got to touch on real quick. They put up a hell of a fight. Anybody who says they don't deserve to play with those big time teams can go fuck themselves.
I don't
They
follow
lost, but they played a great game, and B knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Chris, what's going on with you? You had some. Yeah, you just got let go from the
Please.
part of the
I said way
got
too
fired
much.
from the show.
What's going on with you? You have some cool news.
I got
happening.
to see finally the documentary that I'm in.
There we
Full
go.
thing.
That's awesome. Congratulations. This is the one that you went to Texas for, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And what's the documentary about? Have we
It's-
touched on this
we've
on the
touched
show?
on it
We've
on the show,
loosely,
loosely.
we try and pull things out of
Yeah.
you, and
But
tell
now
us.
it's done, which is awesome. It's a health and
It's
wellness
finished. It's
documentary.
finished, made, edited,
Finished,
done.
edited,
like you
done.
saw the final copy.
There's probably going to be one more walkthrough. I'm going to. So there's a showing this weekend in Bermuda. They're flying
You
me
going
down
to Bermuda?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Nice.
Now, when you say they're flying me down,
So the people who funded this movie
Okay.
are like
Big
a
Vegetable.
Big Vegetable. No, it's like a doctor collective
okay,
called
Group of
All
doctors,
Docs.
yeah.
yeah, it's like a doctor collective, and this is their yearly convention. So this movie's been going on for like 2 years.
and
they're
what
like, "We
is
gotta
the
see
movie
it."
about again?
It's basically a health and wellness documentary, but it focuses mainly on what you can see through your eye and how most diseases can now be detected through the eyeball. And there's this machine.
When you say eyeball, you literally mean like
yeah,
test my eyeball and you can see whatever
Well,
I have.
not really test. Take a picture of it. So there's this machine that you like kind of stick your head in, and it takes like 1,000 pictures of the back of your eyeball in different like lighting,
Yeah, okay,
kind of.
I get it.
Mhm.
And
Kind of.
you can see the
We don't get it at all.
the blood vessels in the eye, and from that, if the doctor's trained in knowing what to look for, you can detect like cancers, diabetes.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, early signs of like possible strokes and stuff
That's
like
crazy. And what was your role in
that.
this?
So my role in this was the doctor. I'm like the B character. The A character, the A host, is a doctor, and he goes and interviews other doctors about basically what happened to where in the 50s and 60s we were curing diseases and now we're getting more and more and getting.
So he's
unhealthy.
there for more of like a clinical.
He's the straight man, clinical, and I
you're
was the comedic,
entertainment. Yeah, like
entertainment relief. And my B story is kind of like how
putting a light, like lightening up his
stuff, and then also showing how my generation kind of got, and you guys too, kind of got screwed over with like, you know, fed sugary cereal our entire lives, and our parents were kind of
Yeah, see, that's
Yeah,
what
what's your favorite cereal?
I mean, you're drinking a Sunkist, you know, like
fuck,
like
my generation got screwed.
we
See,
just got like
yeah.
didn't know
That's
what
my
was
fault.
healthy.
Man, if we could stick our heads in the machine and read our
And
eyes.
you could just
Did you have to put your head in that machine?
yeah.
You did.
No, you just it's not like invasive.
No,
Yeah.
but you know.
so I could go in there and see if there's anything wrong with me.
That machine would light
You
up
don't-
like
you
a
don't need the
Christmas
machine.
tree. We're seeing a lot back here, and not a lot at all. Just a mixture of both.
But like the pushing of like diet drinks and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and you know,
No good,
the
right?
food
No good.
pyramid,
The food pyramid's a hoax. I've heard that.
complete the opposite of what you want to be doing.
Yeah.
Like couldn't have been more wrong.
How did they ever get that
Yeah.
off?
Couldn't have
Is what
been
I
more
want to know
wrong,
is
man.
how they could have been that off.
Because nobody knows.
Nobody knows anything. That's really
Nobody
what it
knows
is.
anything.
Well, we ever talk about vaccines on here?
I
We
don't
never
know
did
if we
talk
did.
about vaccines on here.
I'm sure you.
Do you guys mind if I interrupt
No,
those
I'd
for a
love
second?
to talk about vaccines for a second.
Okay. Now, I'm not naming names, but a very good friend of mine's sister is a biologist.
Mm-hmm.
She's told me, and she's experienced in this field, like she knows what she's talking about. Said one of the only things our civilization has gotten right in the medical field is vaccinations. We know what they are, we know what they do,
Right.
and we know how to, input them, and we've wiped out. Like, it's clinically proved we've wiped out sicknesses that were here
a ton of
through
diseases.
vaccines. They're gone.
Mm-hmm. But
So the
there's-
masses, let me go. So the people who are anti-vaccines and don't know if it starts this, one, they're basing most of their decisions off of nothing that's proven, because there's really no proof that vaccinations cause. We'll use
Autism's a
autism
big one.
as
well,
an
that's the one,
example.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't or it does, but the amount of people who will get it, who will get sick without vaccines, through the people who will get autism getting vaccine, it's not even close.
So I agree with that sentiment. I think vaccines are really important, and I
Yeah.
think we've done a lot of great things with them. However, it's like anything else. There's like two sides of it. We've cured diseases with them that people don't get anymore, but people
Yeah.
are dying with left and right. However, the flu shot is only like
But the flu shot's
8%
not a
effective,
vaccine.
But it is, though.
It's not. There's different strains. It's a shot to prevent that year, and
Yeah, it's a
and
yearly-
the flu
It's a
shot.
vaccination against that year's strain of the flu, though.
But it's not an end all be all, because it's just
No,
there's
it's not.
strains that it doesn't. I mean, it's not a vaccine.
Right.
A vaccine you take pretty much once and you're good, for the most part, or you get them as you're
like
young.
the measles
The
vaccine
measles
or the
and
mumps.
like, the flu shot isn't a vaccine.
It's the same idea, though.
it's-
Same
it's in the
idea,
same category.
but it's not.
Is that what? I don't know if that's what they talk about. I don't. I
All
don't
I'm
know.
saying is it's not the same debate as a flu shot as opposed to these
no,
vaccinations.
I don't think it is, but I don't know.
I would get the flu shot. I don't even get it, but I'm not opposed to it. And maybe I should get it. It's just not something.
Yeah.
When you don't
I mean,
have
it's-
kids and you don't think
yeah.
about it, but now that I do have a lot of kids in the family, it might be smart that I do get it for their sake.
I always get it. But you
I've
know,
gotten it once.
But that's
Um,
my whole thing was. There's people who argue against vaccines. All you're doing is opening up your kid.
you're putting other kids at risk.
Oh,
No,
but,
you,
I mean,
if
you
a
gotta
kid
get
is
the-
vaccinated,
yeah.
you're not putting them. You're only putting other non-vac. All they're doing is impossibly bringing back sicknesses that are going to affect their kid.
Well, there's a
and
resurgence
other
of
kids.
some.
with
yeah, that's why
sick-
the
Yeah.
mumps is
But
coming
what I'm
back.
saying, there's people who. But the problem is the vaccines. The vaccines they stopped giving because they're pretty much eradicated. That come back. People who don't have those vaccinations might have to start getting them again.
Yeah.
Mm.
For like old diseases.
So like all these people who
Yeah.
were anti-vaccines, like you're just wrong. It's not even
But-
like the
So,
chance of what might
anyways,
happen
back-
to your kid. But
back
anyway,
to
I'm
this,
sorry.
though,
Yeah, go back to yours.
So that's kind of it goes to the crux of the one of the main points of this film, is that people used to die from diseases that you would catch,
Yes.
and now they don't anymore. Now almost everyone, the top killers are chronic diseases.
Things that we do to
Things that
ourselves.
we do to
Yeah.
ourselves through poor diets and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
a million other things.
yeah. Just lifestyles.
So it just follows that. So
That's awesome.
it was really cool to
And
see.
you do a lot of voiceovers. Are you visible in this thing, or is it like?
I'm the second main character.
And will
Nice.
will this thing be free for everybody to
It
see
will
eventually? Not
be-
necessarily free, but will it be able?
It will be
to
available.
Available.
I don't know
yes.
where yet.
You don't know when?
It's in a couple. Thanksgiving's the shooting. We're shooting for Thanksgiving.
Well, that's awesome.
Oh,
I
like
know
the
you put a
release?
lot of work into that, and it took you forever
Yeah,
to
man,
do
that's
it.
great.
So that's
I
congratulations.
can't wait
man.
to watch that.
Yeah, we'll have. We're doing something in the city in October.
Well, we'll definitely
it.
promote that when it comes. And
Yeah.
You're going to Bermuda, which is nice.
I know,
You're bringing the
yeah.
lady
Very
too.
excited. No, this is
Business.
It's gonna be a work
This is
trip.
all business. It's
Well,
all
well,
business.
sure.
It's gonna be a
Sometimes,
work trip.
Yeah, I know.
sometimes you
I
can mix a little pleasure with business.
So when we first booked it, I was gonna book her a ticket also, but I also produce a web show for a
Okay.
group of doctors that are also.
Well,
gonna
is
be
this the
down
same doctor?
there. Yeah.
Like, great that you were
Yeah,
doing
so
that
I
web
do-
Are you
series.
still doing that podcast? That other podcast with that other doctor?
No, we stopped doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I produce a show for them, so we're gonna do that. We're all gonna be in the same
Nice.
hotel. So
Well,
we'll
you're a
do
busy
that.
man.
like that.
Pick up
Huh?
a couple dollars and come back.
There you go,
There
man.
you
Hey,
go.
network, bro. You're in
That's
this.
what
You're
I'm
in this
saying.
medical field
That's
of
what I'm
like
saying, man.
entertainment. It's
We
interesting.
got like a gala thing on Thursday.
Look
Oh
at
wait,
you
are you gonna
going
do?
to a
Are you
gala.
gonna do stand up?
Yeah. No.
Can
we
you ever get the
we had to
adult
cut
babies
that.
to one of these
How
galas? I want to walk a red carpet.
We had to cut it for this. I'll probably do it for the thing in October.
Oh, okay.
Can we get an invite to one of these galas as a guest? Plus
Sure,
one.
buddy. Not to Bermuda.
No, not to Bermuda. I just want to walk a
Yeah.
red carpet.
to the
He
the
wants to
screening in
walk a
October
red
though. You guys have to come.
Oh yeah.
Can
Let
I
me know.
walk the red
Hey, listen,
carpet?
Yeah,
I would love to. I
I'll
would
bring
love
a red carpet
we'll
just
go
for you.
as guests. We'll be like a date. And
Yeah.
We'll go in blue and orange.
You don't have to
like the
date.
Dumb
to,
and
like the
Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber guy.
Jeez.
I still.
Actually, if you guys don't come in top hats,
Yeah.
you're not
Well,
allowed.
me and
We should go with coordinated suits.
please.
Dude, I could do that. I actually have a really loud suit that I would wear. I like to bring out every once in a while.
Which one?
It's
Have I seen this suit?
I wore it to one wedding. It's like all red and checkered, and
Oh.
it's pretty
Okay, that's good.
pretty great.
It's pretty great. I wish
I look
we
like-
have the YouTube, but your face, you're so happy when talking
You're
about
lit
it.
up.
I look like a #1 draft pick in this
You
suit.
do.
It's,
Oh, that's amazing.
It's like
Oh, it's like one of those like overdone.
yeah.
You wear a chain with it?
I could wear anything with it. It looks incredible. I want to go to like a health and documentary and wear this tight suit that doesn't fit me well and
Oh,
just look
God.
ridiculous. That'd be
That's amazing.
fun. Oh man, well that's
Well,
good,
look
man.
at Chris doing
Yeah,
big
like,
things.
big
You're always
things.
doing a lot of
About
shit.
it.
I never really know what's going on per se, but I'm glad to see.
It's all
what's
it's
going
all
on.
starting to come out.
No, like, is
It's
he
all-
always like, I'm producing this and that, and like, I'm waiting to see something.
None
Yeah.
of it's come out yet.
I
So
know,
this
that's
is-
what I'm
this Is
saying.
the first.
This is it.
This is it. So it's
So
a
you're
little
excited, you're
nerve-wracking.
nervous?
Yeah.
And like,
Are you
did you
nervous?
do any production in this?
In the later stages of it, I got involved in the production a little
Okay.
bit. But going forward, this is spinning off into a bunch
Good.
of things.
That's
Going
what it's
forward,
all
I'm-
about.
Are we
you
going to be able
start-
to Google you and see like an IMBD?
I was just gonna say,
thing?
you-
I,
Are
I
you
do.
gonna-
I'm gonna get an IMDb page.
That's
Yeah.
nice. All
It's
right.
gonna be awesome.
That means we could start a Wikipedia.
yeah.
Yeah, we should start a Wikipedia.
We should start a Wikipedia of our page
We should.
Oh, my
about
God.
us, the adult babies.
Yeah, we should.
I want to get in a
We
Wikipedia.
can make shit up.
Don't involve me in that. I don't
We're
want
doing
Can't we do it
It's already done.
ourselves?
Yeah, it's already done.
I don't want to be a part of
Consider it.
Oh,
done.
you're doesn't matter.
that. Yeah, just don't use my real name.
Oh, your name. You're gonna be a comic. I'm gonna have a whole.
Yeah, I don't want to.
When you know when it
You have
has
the
like a.
biggest column.
No,
but you know when
no.
it has like different things like early career and early history. I can't wait to go into your family history.
Oh, God.
I want to bring rubber involved.
Get out of here.
Please.
I might.
You
I
could
got a
write
lot of
the burner
time.
on-
You do have a
Yeah.
lot of time. You do have a lot of
Maybe
time.
you're a Wikipedia editor now. Let's
Maybe I
Maybe.
should. That's why I always love when I see the Wikipedia things and like the ads are like, you know, a lot of people use this page, but can you please donate money
Dude,
to
that
keep
makes
it
me
going?
so
It
mad.
makes me so mad too because I'm not
Get outta
donating.
here.
Somebody better
fuck
donate to
outta here.
keep this page up, but I'm not.
Not me.
If
Not
it
me.
ever shuts down, I'd be so pissed.
But I'm never going to donate a
never
fucking
giving you a
dollar to
dime.
it. Exactly. But did you have some stuff going on, B too, or that you want to talk about, or no?
Nothing real. I'm going to the Finger Lakes Comedy Festival this weekend.
I'm just seeing you have a notebook out, and I thought you had.
No, well, this is just stuff we pretty much caught up on. Most
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Yeah, Listen, I have off Mondays, so I spent the entire day just writing. I sat myself in my basement, and I just wrote for the day because I'm like just lacking on.
I'm not going to
jokes.
lie. You've been spitballing ideas to us, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm on like a
You're on a kick.
I'm on a creative kick, a
That's
binge.
good.
Just trying to get myself
Got them
my mind
juices
working.
flowing.
because I bombed so bad the other night at my own show. Oh my god. Oh god.
I wish you bombed more often for me to see.
I do.
I've
it
yet
happens.
to see you bomb.
It happens though.
I know.
I don't know
Trust
if
me.
I've seen you bomb either.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see. I mean, I've been to shows where he's done. I thought he was funnier, and maybe the crowd's not reacting as
I've
good.
seen
But
that
I've never
happen,
seen him
but-
bomb.
Well, I consider that a bomb. The crowd doesn't.
No, like they were laughing, but maybe like somebody went up there and was
I feel
funnier.
Like a bee bomb is so different than like me bombing.
Well, I had a. I don't
when
know.
I bomb, I self-destruct on the stage. Like,
Wow.
you're still going through.
You
a set.
know, I self-destruct on a stage too.
But you
I
do it,
start
maybe you
talking
hide it
out-
a little better.
I start talking out loud, like, "Oh, okay, well, that didn't go the." I start like narrating
You know what
my
my
bomb
thing
as
is?
a-
I feel like sometimes my only critique ever of you is that I feel like you rush sometimes,
Yeah, I do, Rush.
and that's my only thing.
I've noticed that.
And that's
But
because
not all the
that's
time.
because I
Yeah.
know how you talk, and I've heard these jokes.
Well,
Your
so-
inflection changes.
But like I've heard his set, and I've heard some of his new. Like I've heard a lot of the jokes before, and there's sometimes where I see him just destroy it, and there's sometimes where you could tell that it's rushed, and maybe that's because you're condensed to a small amount of minutes, and you want to make sure you get it in.
A lot
Like,
of
I don't know
times-
what it's involved, so I can't. But that's the only time I ever think that you're not on your A game is when you're rushing.
Yeah, a lot of times the rushing I think comes from just I'm not comfortable, and
like the first one doesn't go over well.
yeah,
and then
if like I don't get a laugh where I know I should get a laugh, or the time thing. A lot of time like
The
if I'm-
time it makes sense because you got to get the joke
Yeah.
off. Maybe you want to get them all in, but
the
sometimes
hosting thing. Sometimes I have a lot on. Like I've been hosting a lot
Yeah.
more, and that where you're going up with like more on. I have like more in my head that I'm thinking about other than my jokes.
Yeah.
Where I'm like thinking about this how to introduce the next person and what they told me. Like we've gone through that.
Right.
yeah.
But this my show on Wednesday. We did a show QED, and so we have an email list now. So we send out an email blast to get people to come to the show. Chick is taking his microphone and putting it through the.
I'm just. I'm got ADD,
that's
bro. What do you want me
sexual
to tell you?
That is.
There's no sexual frustration.
Oh, what does that mean?
I don't care. I threw in the towel.
Oh, good for you.
So you
Coincidentally,
ladies-
everybody else threw in the towel on you. So. So anyway, we send out this email blast, and we're hoping to get people to come up to the show. And there's a Dungeons and Dragons show that takes place after our Wednesday show.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, a Dungeons and Dragons show that they do after our show. So there's like a lot of Dungeons and Dragons.
Like they play on the stage?
Yeah, there's somebody hosts it, and it's QED does a lot of that
QED's
stuff.
weird, yeah.
So they'll do like a lot of odd.
That's
shows.
probably pretty fun, though. I bet
It packs out, dude.
It's probably
they sell a lot more
Dungeons
than my
and
show
Dragons are very popular.
does. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably like one of those cult, like
Yeah, it's
on
like a cult
Wednesdays we
following.
go to Dungeons
Yes.
and Dragons,
And
type
I
of
bet you
thing,
it's
yeah.
fun for whoever goes there.
It looks
If
fun.
you're into it, it's probably
It looks
awesome.
fun.
I always wanted to get into a Dungeons and Dragons
Maybe
game.
this is your time.
Dude. Me too. I've never.
By
I
the
don't
way,
know
How do
anything
you
about
do
it.
that?
They
I don't
all
have the
look
friends.
like both of you. Either they're skinny with glasses or they're fat with glasses. So
But like,
they
I
both-
don't know.
They
My,
look like
my
both of you.
group of friends were never like the type of people to do Dungeons and Dragons.
You know,
They
So
weren't
like I
nerds?
think
but
mine
no, but
were
it's
either.
but not even that. It's a game that someone's got to have you got to have creativity because someone's running the game.
Yeah.
you know,
and
I
there's
had
like
nerd friends, but everything was electronic. So
Oh.
instead of that, we just play like a computer game.
no, I just never. I'm not even opposed to Dungeons and Dragons, but the reason why I say it too is I met a gentleman that I used to work with a couple jobs ago.
How many times have you said that?
What was that?
I got a
Last
lot
year?
of employees that I worked with, good people that I still wish I could be in contact with. Some I still am, but you make runs, you meet people, you like people, and I hate people mostly. So the ones I like to try and keep around. At first, I guess I'm a more
Every
of a.
sentence.
It's
is
all
just
talk.
Do you realize
No,
every
I mean,
sentence
you're
you say
bipolar as hell, but-
is the I like these people and I hate a lot of people. Like every sentence is here and there. It's
I touch everything.
yeah. Okay.
All right,
I don't know.
Sexual frustration,
It
dude.
touches everything, but
But anyway, so this guy was telling me, and I was about to get in. I mean, I don't know. He said he played, and they haven't started a game in a while. And I was like, dude, I would love to get involved. He's like, dude, you could definitely do it. And like, I almost got into a Dungeons and Dragons game.
that'd be great.
But now, and he said he had his own story and his own this guy was a smart guy too.
okay.
So like this thing, I was pumped about this, and it just didn't work out.
It fizzled
You
out.
know what it reminds me of is that Parks and Rec when he
I didn't
He
watch
made.
that show
Oh,
a
you didn't
ton.
see that show?
It's not
I
that
saw that
never
show, but
did,
I don't know
just
if I
didn't
remember
watch
that.
it
It's like he makes the
religiously.
cones game.
Yeah, I don't.
I can't remember it
Oh, okay.
enough to make a thing out of it.
I did love that show. I don't remember
What a
that
show.
specific thing.
That was my thing. Like I've seen episodes and it was funny, but I didn't watch it religiously to be able to remember anything
Yeah.
of a value from it. But I mean, if we have time, I could do my picks.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's another episode where I just talked a lot. But
Well, you're letting a lot of stuff off the chest.
letting
these
a
days.
lot out.
We're letting you go.
But the first one, and I actually asked B, and he said he wasn't as thrilled about this, but I enjoyed it. Was Between Two Ferns. The
I
movie.
did like it. I just had my criticisms.
Anybody who knows Zach Galifianakis' show Between Two Ferns, it's hysterical. This was like, what'd you call it, a mockumentary? Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
those are fun.
the
'cause-
whole show.
well, it's like the show is not a real show, and it's basically about him making the show and creating the show, and
Okay.
how his TV director didn't like
Well, it's about he has an internet talk show.
internet talk show
that's-
that he wants to get on a regular network, right?
Yeah, well, basically, for people that don't know, Between Two Ferns, Zach Galifianakis, it's like
YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's on. They're all on YouTube. They're like 10, 15 minutes long,
And they're hilarious.
and they're
They're
great.
so
they're
fucking
great,
fun.
and it's just him interviewing celebrities
genius.
in between two ferns, and it's a great.
He is a genius.
Yeah.
I think that's a
And, like,
genius idea for a show.
His style, like that interview style that he does, is just great.
I think it's hilarious, but it's basically about him having to rattle off 10. He's got to interview 10 celebrities in order to get his own show, and Will Ferrell's his boss, and he's hysterical in it. But I love it. If you like Zach Galifianakis, I recommend it. It's on Netflix, and it's called
Galifianakis.
Galifianakis. It's called Between Two Ferns, the movie. The next one was for all our music buffs out there. Clive Davis, The Soundtrack of Our Lives, is about a 2-hour Netflix documentary all about Clive Davis.
You lost me.
You don't know who Clive
No,
Davis
I
is?
Chris, come
on,
on, man.
Sing me a song.
He's a
Sing it.
producer.
He's a
Oh.
one. He found he didn't find Columbia, but he basically was the reason why Columbia was the #1 record label for years. And then he found Arista,
Okay.
Arista Records.
Arista?
He's Arista. I'm sorry, and he's basically produced songs from everybody from fucking. Who's the like? I'm trying to
Everybody.
think of one of his
I feel
early
like the
ones.
Sound of Our Lives is kind of a corny name.
No, it's because every major artist.
It is kind of a corny name.
Whatever,
That's a Lifetime
man.
movie right
Like,
there.
Yeah.
The Sound of Our Lives.
He was.
Yeah.
He helped. I'm
Some
just trying to think of
D-list
some of
actress.
like the big time people from the early days. There was one group.
Didn't you watch the documentary?
Yeah, but I'm drawing a brain fart right now. I'm
You
like
couldn't
all
see it through
over
the
place.
tears after he got fired.
Did you bail on the documentary? Like your
No,
job's
because I
bailing
actually
you?
loved it, and I'm just drawing. No, there's just one group in particular that I'm like trying to put my. But whatever. He helped re-sign Billy Joel.
Right.
Everybody.
Yeah,
All right.
he's
I
huge.
mean, Puff Daddy. He helped groom
and the family.
and the family.
All right.
Like I mean, literally, but it was all genres from like country to rap to hip hop to R&B, like
Right.
everybody.
Clive Davis.
Clive
yeah.
Davis is like a musical mogul, and it's just a documentary about him. It's very cool. The other one was a series on Netflix, Unbelievable. I know everybody knows.
I
about
recommended this.
it. B told me to watch it. I watched it. I had to bring it.
Oh,
on
you
the
guys are
picks.
texting about
Still
this.
haven't watched it myself.
Really?
Yeah.
It's about a serial rapist, and it's a true story or based on true stories, and it's very good. I don't want to.
That's the whole
this-
review.
You always like. What do you want me to say about it?
I don't know.
I don't want
Wait,
to
so
talk
this
about
is
it. It's about a
different-
serial rapist,
Wait,
and it's a
but
true
this
story.
is different than the one you suggested last week.
About the serial
Also
rape.
about rape.
I watch a lot of dark fucking shit. What is that? What's the difference?
Nothing. This show is. Listen, you know the undertones of this show are to fuck with you. I don't know.
yeah.
What do you want me to
I
say?
just- you know what,
You
Bobby?
want me to do a chick pick?
wanna
and
get
it
into
was
my chick
very
pick.
good.
But
By the
I
way-
used to have a whole summary of these shows, and I would get into them and tell you why I liked
Haven't
them and
you-
review it. And then
Did you
it was.
do the Disney thing yet?
No.
Oh, I threw in the towel on that. But now that I have time, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
I told you how hard it was to watch those
not
Disney
fucking
movies.
doing it, bro.
I watch a lot of TV. I hate Disney. That's what I've realized.
Oh, all right. Well, whatever. He's never gonna
Just
do that.
from memory. Just
Yeah.
But
That
the
would
whole
be even
thing was
better.
I wanted to do a good critique of why I hate these three.
But you couldn't even do that.
I texted you guys about this. I don't know. You guys never got back to me about like the idea of it, but we should ask the fans if we want to. We should do like a movie companion for that horrible adult.
What is a
babies
movie companion? That was where you lost me.
No, like how like
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
podcasts do like companions for like sports games and stuff like that. Will there be watching the sports?
Oh,
game?
watch it live?
Yeah,
Okay.
we should do that.
And
That'd be
we
funny.
basically
we sit down,
narrate
we watch the movie, and we narrate it.
We
over the
talk
thing.
about
as
it.
like a bonus.
Yeah,
like, 'cause
hey,
it
we
might
could do
suck,
that.
But
Now, do we watch this movie live, or do we watch it first and then watch it again and do it?
I think it would be better if
if we just watched it.
I think I don't know how many people are going to
So
want
what
to
he's
watch
talking
us watch
about
a
is if anybody's
terrible
seen
movie.
our Instagram page, we put up a picture of a movie that was called
It was like Attack of the Adult.
Attack of the Adult
yeah.
Babies. It was a horror movie, and it looked like a nurse trying to kill these adult babies, or the adult babies were killing other
I don't know
people.
what was happening exactly.
But it had a pretty funny like trailer poster.
Yeah.
And so who did the
Diesel.
Diesel did the Photoshop and put all three of our faces where the baby's dad,
Yes.
the adult baby was. And now that's
Did
the movie.
I see that?
There's a trailer for that movie that we
B's social media game.
is.
I'm not looking at it.
We didn't get a lot. Nobody commented
Nobody
on
commented
it.
on
Maybe
that.
it was
How
the bad time you
thought
put it
that
up.
was funny, man.
No, because I
You're
thought
right,
it
it
was
was probably
funny
a bad
too.
time.
And there's things that we've posted up, but we've got a lot to play from.
Yeah.
I think it all depends on when you
I
post.
think I put it up.
I
at a
didn't
bad
even see
time.
this.
I don't remember.
I saw you send me the picture of the
Oh.
attack. I didn't see that. That's good.
That was funny, bro. I actually surprised we didn't get any comments.
It must have been a weird time of
Yeah,
day.
Yeah, maybe
I don't
we'll
know.
Posted
repost
at a
it.
weird
Either
time.
way,
Yeah,
we'll
we should.
repost it. But that's actually not a bad idea
We
to
should
do
watch
that.
it and then
because it's a horror movie about adult babies, and we thought it was funny because we're the
and
adult
it looks
babies.
like a
Yeah.
terrible movie.
It
so
looks
it's like
Well, that's why I think it might be better if we sort of watched it. Maybe even watched it together. I don't know.
no. I think we should watch it
yeah,
together.
we'll put it on my iPad or something.
Right,
and we'll
right.
watch it
Right.
right here while we do it.
Oh God, is this what our lives? Now we have to start watching stuff on your iPad outside with
Well,
you.
I don't have a TV outside.
Well, we can't do it in his car.
Yeah, you're right.
We should do one podcast from the
Live
car.
from the car.
Fuck it.
That would be
We just
fun.
need really
Great.
long
We'd
extension
have, to,
cords.
we'd have to run some power. but-
Yeah, I would be down to watch it.
I would be down to do
I
that.
think that'd be fun.
I think that could
and
be
then
fun.
and then talk about it and yeah.
And then we could start doing this and all types of stuff.
We could do. Yeah.
yeah.
We just do our narrations.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm down with that.
Worth a
But
shot.
those are
Let us know
Are
what
those
you think about
those
that.
are your three picks?
those were my three picks between
like
Two
it.
Ferns, the Clive Davis, and Unbelievable. I'm really disappointed in myself that I forgot some of the big artists that I wanted to say about Clive Davis. But
All right.
fuck me,
Now
my head's not in it.
understandable. Now I texted you guys. We're always trying to think of different stuff for the show, and I was thinking of maybe doing. Now, Chris, if you want to think of your own segment too, like I don't know, something different. So I was like, I want to do my own segment where I get like, not like yours, but like maybe I find like weird stories or weird things that I find.
I'll
and
do
I'll
it.
tell a short little. I'll just
we'll
recap
do
it.
Bees crazy
I
story.
already got a name for it.
Oh,
And,
nice.
Now, Chris, if you find something that you want to do as a segment as well,
Yeah.
if you find something,
And maybe instead of
That's
me
a good
doing my
idea.
picks every week, we'll alternate our
Maybe we
our
should.
that
Out.
could be good.
All right.
That
instead
might
of
be good.
just screwing my and I'll make my picks better.
Look at us having meetings on the show.
Air.
All right.
So
Look at
that's
us.
maybe we'll do. We'll alternate a skit. I
Yeah.
mean a segment.
Now, but I am.
I
up-
wanna hear your
I am up
name.
for criticism with my segment, but I'm okay with it. If
know
it
what?
I
if it
also
stinks,
want
it
us
stinks.
We're trying
to
things
move
out.
away from chicks picks strictly being movies and docs. I might start up to be chicks picks in life. Just three things that I pick.
Chicks picks a nude shot.
No, three chicks picks, and no matter what they are, nothing's
That could be good.
nothing's
You
out
mean
of the.
like Sunkissed?
No, it could
Yeah.
still be movies to go watch. It could
Right.
be this. It could be anything.
Right, you saw
Yeah.
something. You had
Yeah.
a
Go
sandwich
do
at a
something.
deli.
Chicks picks. Go to
The San Gennaro Feast. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right, so here's a debut of my little segment, and I'm going to call this B's Short Stack of Pancakes. And
Okie doke.
the reason why I'm calling it B's Short Stack of
Put a pin
Pancakes
in that.
is because it's a small bite-size treat at the end of the show that what are you walking away from me? Well, oh, it is. So I want to call it B's Short Stack of Pancakes. I think
Okay.
it rolls off the tongue well.
Does it?
It sounds. Of course, it does. It's delicious, and
I think
that's
he's just
it.
really into baking.
Yeah, whatever. I
Well,
let him go though. I let him
speaking
go
of
with the
baking-
things that he
Speaking
thinks
of baking,
funny.
side note,
It's
B's
supposed to
baking.
be funny.
B's baking video coming out soon.
Yes,
we're done.
Yeah,
Just about.
Do you have that other? We'll get into that.
Big, did I tell you somebody, a listener, told me they listened to one episode and they said, you cut B off so much. I said, it's kind of our shtick.
Yeah, it's all right. You can cut me off.
They yelled at me for cutting
was
you
it?
off.
Well, tell
I'm
me.
not going to
later.
tell you
I love that person.
because I also forgot who it was who told
Oh
me.
God. All right. So speaking of baking, an Amish bakery was shut down after it was discovered that they were using breast milk in their whoopie pies.
What's a whoopie pie?
Okay, so whoopie. I knew you were going to ask that, so
page 2.
I
He's
found. I
prepared
wrote it
today.
out. A whoopie pie,
He
also
knows us
known.
so well that he's got the question answers or the questions I didn't even know I was going to ask.
I knew you were going to ask. This is 76 episodes in. I know where your mind is going to go. A whoopie pie, also known as a gob in Western Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It's a
that
bake-
makes it easier.
It's I don't know what that
now
means.
I know what it's
It's a baked product that it's like a sandwich, but it's made with 2 soft cookies with a fluffy white filling in the middle. That's what a whoopie pie is.
A fluffy white.
Yeah, like a
It
a
just
whipped
sounds
cream.
so like. Why can't they just tell me what it is?
That's I don't know.
No, I'm not yelling at you, but I mean, like,
describe a
why can't
cookie?
they say with cream filling?
because it's a white fluffy filling. It's not because cream filling can fall.
It sounds like they're putting a question mark at who knows what this white filling's going to be.
well. That's true because it could be filled with a flavor of
Breast milk.
breast milk, chocolate, or pumpkin, whatever you want. It could be filled
kind
with
of yeast.
it's-
Whipped cream, like you said. it
whipped
could-
cream. But you can't just say white filling because Oreo has the white filling on. That's their thing. So,
Right, Oreo owns white filling.
well, white filling is inside an Oreo. That's what a white. Well, maybe Twinkies. I don't listen. I didn't do this much research. Be a short stack of pancakes is already a
No,
nightmare.
this is- if you're going to ruin my segment, I'm going to try
Oh,
and get all over yours.
By the way,
poking holes.
that is what I want. Come at me hard, baby.
All right.
So what's
Come
on
at my
your hat?
pancakes.
What does your hat say?
What, Rourke? What does yours say? See? Here, look at it.
It stands for Chris.
Okay, so you ready? Yoder.
Hold on a second.
B.
God, what?
What is happening?
Is that?
Oh, it keeps the hat good inside.
The thing that's supposed to come out after you purchase your
No,
hat?
no, I keep them in. All right, so
Okay,
we're
wait,
talking about.
B, finish this. We'll get
Okay,
to that.
we'll get-
Jesus
to that.
Christ, we're talking about a plastic piece inside of my hat. I keep the plastic
If
piece
you've
in
ever
there.
bought a hat,
that white
a little
plastic piece
that
like keeps
that
the
white
the-
filling in the
that white
filling
filling
in
that
the
keeps
hat.
the front of the hat up,
Yes,
he keeps in his hat.
I do because I find that now
I find it extremely uncomfortable.
No, it's not uncomfortable. A
you
hat
keep
to
the
me.
tags on your shirts too.
No. Well, this is not a tag. This is like a skeleton of the hat. Okay, and I am
Do
a
you
little
keep
bit
the
of a-
hanger in your shirt when you put it on?
Oh, he's got to keep the shape.
Yeah, when I put it on, I put the hanger in my shirt.
Yeah, you keep it in your
This way you
bag.
can hook it
You're a
to his
couple
back.
of damn fools. Okay,
Well, whatever. I don't even.
I am a
don't even
hat-
care about the hat. I want to know about the cream
I was
filling.
just surprised.
you're
Yeah.
like my mom. You're like my mom is like, what does that shirt say? I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's a Nike shirt. It says, let's do it or just do it.
It says,
I
"Just
don't know.
fill me."
It's a Rourke Revival hat. It's a company. I like Rourke. They make great. Rourke is a. Now you're gonna.
That's
you want me-
why I said go to the story. I'm done with the hat.
Okay.
You're an idiot.
So, Yoder Baked Goods was shut down after an anonymous tip. By the way, who sent this anonymous tip? Right, that there was breast milk in the whoopie pies.
The person who probably was doing it.
That's what I was like. Is it the owner of the breast who produced the milk that sent the anonymous tip?
Can't they do DNA tests for the milk?
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh yes.
there's
Authorities
layers.
received a tip
I'm so smart.
saying the bakery was using questionable. I said that wrong. The bakery was using questionable ingredients in their baked goods. At first glance, the authorities came in there, and the bakery seemed clean and compliant, right? However, 3 whoopie pies tested positive for human DNA.
Were they able to see whose They were. Who's
No, I don't think they were able to make a match.
Yes,
but-
they could have.
Well, it's not there wasn't a murder,
It's got to be one of the cook's wives.
right? Or
They're Amish. It's got to be somebody in that community.
Then they checked their cold storage unit, aka the refrigerator, and found the milk to be human breast milk. Huh? How about that?
So they just basically they don't want to buy milk because they're cheap, and they're pumping it out
But-
themselves.
Doesn't that seem like more work?
I was gonna. Yeah.
It's
you
more
don't
work
think
for
they
the
have
women.
cows
It's more work
on
for
the
the
Amish
women.
country?
But do you think they give a shit about women in Amish country? Something tells me they're behind the eight ball
Probably
with the
not.
women movement.
yeah, probably not.
They're not really probably abiding by a lot of great laws.
Probably
so
not.
I'm assuming they're just milking these women.
We need more whoopie pies.
More whoopie pies.
Time to
But
milk
God
our wives.
knows what else they use that milk for.
Oh, creamer in the coffee?
Coffee creamer. eggs.
Danishes? Eggs?
Everything has milk when you're baking.
Yeah.
But right, listen, and they only found the DNA in the 3 whoopie pies.
What did they only test 3 though?
No,
you think they
no, I
tested
think
everything
they
that's in that place? I don't.
Yeah.
I think if you're selling,
When there's a tip that says whoopie pies, nobody else is going to test anything else.
I agree. They're like, let's.
The warrant is probably only for the whoopie pies.
you think it goes that deep?
Yes, I do. I think it's
Really?
that specific. Well, if there's certain things when they put a
Now,
warrant
is
in your
this like
house.
Amish PD though? Like
No,
what's
the
the?
Amish people still have to follow our laws, I would assume, right?
But
I mean,
if
listen.
they're in their own county though.
Yeah,
isn't
but
it
there's
like
probably
they're-
like within their community, there's laws that they abide by, but there's still
'Cause you pull up
can't
on a
break.
horse, though?
It's not like you could sell drugs, but you're Amish, and it's like we are allowed to sell drugs in the Amish country. No, it's you're breaking the law.
Are they not allowed to use electric? And I don't know. But
Those are ways that they choose to live. Those aren't laws like
right.
they follow our laws, but they have their own rules within their communities.
Well, different counties have different laws though too.
Yes,
Yeah,
there's state
I don't know.
governments, and every state has different laws. But I'm saying they have to abide wherever they live. They got to abide by the laws of the
Right.
land.
yeah.
But within their communities, I'm sure they have their own
Yeah, I'm sure.
rules
Like,
of.
I can't imagine the police are checking up on them too
And
much.
that's probably what happened. It's
That's
kind
probably
of like
what
out of
happened.
sight, out of
They were
sight,
trying
out
to
of
save a
mind.
little money on milk. But how much is milk really? That you have to take it from your wife's boobs.
You
It's
gotta-
just ridiculous.
all the women in that specific community have small tits.
Is that what happens when you get breast
I-
milk out?
Yeah, they're draining everything out of there.
Yeah. Oh
It
God.
sounds like bro science.
So I looked up the reviews.
Or weird looking tits.
Yeah, well, but women can breastfeed and into a few whoopie pies and still have tits.
I like
think.
how they're called whoopie pies.
I know.
Would you expect anything else in a whoopie pie?
No,
Other
here's
than
the
breast
thing.
milk?
If you're buying a whoopie pie, you deserve it.
So I went up and found some reviews. It's no longer in business, but I found one from 2015, and it goes, "We have gone to this bakery for years. Amish baked goods that are fresh and tasty. The store is right on their farm. Fruit pies as well as cream pies are offered and sell out fast." That was a good one. And then another one, the blueberry pie is to die for. Where to start with Yoder's Amish Bakery? Everything is simply awesome. The blueberry pie is our favorite.
Is there anything about whoopie pies?
Excellent crust, and the berries are fresh, not overly sweet. We also love their boobs. Whatever's inside. No, there's nothing about whoopie pie.
What did that just say? No, we love their boobs?
No, you interrupted me, and I was
Well,
thinking.
I don't know. I always thought these reviews were going to come to like
Nothing about the
something
whoopie
whoopies.
pies.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
maybe they were in a hot cellar.
no,
Maybe that's why they
Yeah.
tried switching
Maybe
it
they
up.
kind of sucked.
yeah. So that's my short stack of
Do
pancakes.
you know anybody who's ever had breast milk?
I had when I was a kid, when I was a baby.
No, I'm.
Are you talking about like
adult trying breast milk? I'm sure everybody,
Yes.
every man has probably tried their wife's breast milk. I don't
Yes.
have a wife, so I don't know.
Of course.
So you've tried it yourself.
I haven't tried it. No, I haven't. You know,
I wonder what it tastes like.
I think it's
I
salty.
haven't wondered that.
Really?
No.
You think it tastes at all like regular milk?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well,
I really
probably
don't.
not.
I don't know. I don't think it will taste.
Does this come
but I
in
just mean, do you
skim?
think it tastes like
You
it's in the
guys
same
have this
family
in
of product?
2%?
Do you think it tastes similar?
No,
Like it's like
No.
in the same
It's-
family of
no,
product.
I think
from
it's
a different animal.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Well,
from
is goat milk that different than cow milk?
I don't fucking know.
I'm asking. I haven't had it.
I don't know.
But,
If-
but
You're
isn't-
one who likes to eat weird shit.
I can't.
yeah,
like
you ever
dairy,
eat
though.
a woman's breast milk?
Yeah,
Um,
plenty.
Do you think there'll ever be a day and
No, I
age
like
where they
dairy, but-
sell women's breast milk?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to Yoder's Amish
country.
Bakery.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
I'm sure there are places.
I think
where
there's
that's a
places
thing.
right now. Yeah, you can.
I
you
just
can
think
buy it.
eventually it's going to be people are so weird with the shit they eat, and they're probably going to be like the best way to
I
drink
know.
milk is if it's made from a human.
Oh, I bet.
I think that's the case right now. You could buy. You could
I
buy.
bet
breast
there's some
milk. I
spots in
believe.
California where you can get.
But
all
I'm not
kinds
talking
of
about for
weird
your
shit.
baby. I'm talking about for your
No,
kids.
for like a kid.
No.
or
No,
even
like
your
for, like,
adults.
you.
Like that's like the milk that we use is breast
No,
milk.
I don't think that would be.
I think there's
You want
freaks
1% or 2%?
Gross. Yeah, so that's my. That's.
Would you taste breast milk?
It depends who it's from.
Same with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like. Oh, try some breast milk.
I would have to know.
Now let
the
me
per-
ask you a question. Now this is where it gets funny because I don't know why I've been thinking. I got weird things that popped in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is one of those situations where tasting a family member's breast milk is worse or better than tasting a stranger's breast milk?
Sort of like smelling your own farts.
Well, okay.
What do you
when
mean,
you
though?
like? I'm trying to think of like. Okay, I'll use cooking as a thing. I trust my family's cooking more than a stranger's cooking. But is it like
Oh, yeah.
completely creepy because now it's like your cousin or sister or like somebody that's now is it becoming sexually awkward because I'm tasting
Right. Yeah, I don't
their
think I'd
breast
want a
milk?
family
think
member's
it's-
breast
So
milk.
is it
It's
better?
not cooking.
No, I
No,
know. I'm
but
using
I
it as
see
an
his analogy.
example. You
I
see what
see
I'm
his
going
analogy.
with this? So is this something where it's like you fucking weirdo, you want to taste your
Yeah.
sister's breast milk? Or do you trust
Yeah, that'd be weird.
some stranger who might be gross and trust their breast milk?
Personally, I would rather a stranger's that I know well.
I think I agree with you.
You
Yeah.
know,
I think
I
it would
don't-
have to be a girlfriend or
Yeah, yeah.
a
It'd have to be like
family
a wife.
member cuts
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
the only thing I could do.
breast milk from a family member is a little
it
too
seems
close to
like
home.
it's like the same thing as.
But if a nice,
That's like
it's like the
incest.
same thing as
Yeah.
incest.
Yeah, that's like incest.
and
But,
that's
you
what
know,
I think of it.
you have a good friend, and you know she squirts a few out for you. All right,
But think
yeah,
about
come
people
on.
who have their own cows and stuff, and that's their family cow, and that's the
That's
milk they
different,
want.
though.
But it's like
they
No.
didn't come from the same cow.
Yeah.
But it's their cow's milks.
Their cow's milks.
Their cow's milk.
Well, I wouldn't want to eat my dog's breast milk.
That's what I'm asking, basically.
I don't know.
It's like I can make my own in my house. Why would I want to go somewhere else and get it? It's kind of what I'm thinking.
I'm saving time. I'm saving money.
Yeah.
Well, there's probably two different people on this, and you know, I'm sure there's plenty of people that are like, no, I
I think
my
it
breast
would
milk
have to
in-house.
be an attractive woman's breast milk.
Yeah, and you would have to see it done. Like they don't show up with the breast milk in
Yeah,
hand.
No, it's like a
Be like,
drug
no, you
test.
gotta-
Like, you gotta.
I need to see it squeezed.
Show me it happen in real time.
Because I think this is almost.
It's got to be fresh.
But it becomes to the when I think like this, I'm starting to think like, is my milk
it
drinking
warm, though?
becoming sexual? No, you freeze it. It's got to go in the fridge for a good. It can't. I'm not drinking it right out of the tit.
Right.
Okay.
Do you think if a girl's
I
cold,
don't
her
know, though.
milk
You
is
want
cold?
Girls are always cold. I don't know. I don't know, man. These are answers that three
This is a
gentlemen
tough
don't
one.
know.
This is a tough one.
I love these things that are just popping in my head right now.
Oh, we got him on a riff. Yeah, you're way into the breast milk stuff. I didn't know. I didn't think we would hit.
breast milk.
Yeah.
I didn't think we'd hit breast milk.
Huh?
But hey, listen. If we have any if there's a listener that was willing to come down, would you drink their breast milk?
No.
You wouldn't do it.
Again, it always depends on who.
It depends
but
on who it
This
is,
is
right.
such a creepy thing.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say no.
To say like I don't even know if I could say yes because this is like I don't even like you know what I mean like I'm so picky with things that
With
go
food, right.
with food and stuff.
I
if you
agree.
mixed it with Sunkist,
But like
Yeah. What if we dropped it in your sunkiss? You didn't even know.
you got a cream.
what you don't know can't hurt you.
Yeah, creamsicle. That's
Yeah.
right.
I don't like creamsicle.
Really?
Of course not. It's horrible.
It's not good.
It's not good.
Come on, creamsicle can be okay.
A creamsicle?
A Stewart from those little Stewart
No,
soda.
I'll never get the creamsicle soda.
Orange
those
and cream.
things are gross.
Oh, you guys are nuts.
No.
I'm with Chris
guys are
on
nuts.
this.
No, those are gross.
I love Stewart's.
Stewart's has a good black cherry soda though.
Great
I'll
black
give 'em
cherry. Great
Stewart's
black
has the best cherry soda. Black cherry
that. The
soda.
black cherry soda.
Period.
Just what do you see?
No, I know. I'm saying they do. They have the best black cherry. I'm agreeing.
Oh, I didn't know if I was hearing the same thing twice.
No, and then you know who else has a good brand? What is it? Dr.
Pepper?
Berry's? What's that brand?
I don't know.
I'm an idiot. My brain is fried
You
today.
really are fried.
Well, I'm done with anything point and useful
I
to
am
say.
too.
That's a good way to end it.
That
Well,
is
I'm-
that is good. We seem like
Guys,
people
if you
here.
made
That's
it this
kind of how
far.
Taylor left us as well.
Yeah.
Guys, just so you know, I'm done
a
with
year
this.
ago.
Right, what did he-
I
I don't
said-
even. I wish.
we got to get that because it was.
Yeah.
We got to get
We
it.
were
I'm
like-
going to talk to
we
see
were
if I
like
can talk to
20
Taylor.
minutes into the episode, and he's
Yeah, because
like,
it'll be a fast one.
he's like, I'm done. I can't do this.
Did we
And that's
finish
it.
that episode? Did we try?
We
and-
tried.
I think we tried.
We
to
tried,
Save it.
and then we were like, "This isn't working.
No, it was.
This is not happening."
Well, if you made it this far, everybody, thank you for listening.
Yeah, we thank
Review us
and rate us.
and
Rate
rate
us, review
us
us.
because we haven't gotten one in a little while, and
Yeah.
I'd like to get one in September.
Yeah, can we get one in September?
One in September.
Somebody
And
just
he's not
go in
just-
there.
5 stars, though.
He's not just
one
talking
star.
about a job, okay? He'd like to get a review, a rating, and a job all in the month.
All
of September.
in the month of
And
September.
you're got like a week left.
You're running out of days, so let's get this off the ground.
But everybody, don't worry about me. I'm good.
Good. We're happy.
Thanks for that.
Thank you guys for listening.
Beep.